the hell is that? Retreat!
Son, you're one of the most promising candidates we've ever seen.
But why are you here?
It's not about us anymore. It's warning everybody that thing's coming.
Rangers, lead the way!
Whatever that thing is, it's hunting us. And it won't stop. No comms, no flares, no firearms. We need to move. You gotta be shitting me. I just want to get across that finish line, Sergeant Major.
Rangers are the spirit of the United States Army. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir, Sergeant! Hey, slow down, Superman. Making the rest of us look bad.
You can expect your emotional, physical, and mental strength to be pushed to the limit.
Keep your eyes open. This cover's going haywire.
Thank you, number 69. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about the War Machine movie set to release in 2026, where we get to see Alan Ritchson. I am going to give you a full explanation about the War Machine movie. Along with that, I'll also be giving you a review of the War Machine movie in this video. Plus, I'll share my opinion about the War Machine movie. I'll also be covering the 20 main topics about the War Machine movie, and all 20 topics will be organized by headings. Here's what it will be like. First, there will be an introduction to the War Machine movie and the first movie intro, along with 20 detailed topics. So, the first heading is full details and interesting facts about the War Machine movie. The second heading covers OTT and satellite updates for the War Machine movie. The third heading includes budget and worldwide box office collection updates for War Machine. The fourth heading is about pre-production and post-production of the War Machine movie. And the fifth heading gives updates on the filming details of the War Machine movie. The sixth heading is a deep story analysis of the War Machine movie, and let me tell you, the seventh heading is an explanation with a technical review of 2026 for the War Machine movie. The eighth heading covers the War Machine movie cast and crew updates, and the ninth heading is about the release date of the War Machine movie. The 10th heading talks about the War Machine movie delay updates. The 11th heading is about the War Machine movie budget updates. And the 12th heading covers the box office collection of the War Machine movie. The 13th heading is about the production of the War Machine movie. The 15th heading includes new updates about the War Machine movie. And the 16th heading is about behind the scenes of Ellen Ritchson is all set for the upcoming movie War Machine. The 17th heading is War Machine movie facts update. The 18th is the rating of War Machine movie. The 19th is the reaction to War Machine movie. And the 20th heading is shooting. All these should be included with us for War Machine movie. So we're going to talk about all 20 topics, and I'll tell you everything about each one in full detail. So stay tuned to this video till the end, and if you like it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also share it with your friends. So let's get started. Let's start this video right away. First, let me give you a quick intro to the movie. War Machine, a 2026 film, is a high-action, adrenaline-packed sci-fi thriller. It's written and directed by Parthik Huggs, who also produced it. Now about Hitman's Bodyguard, The Expendable, it's being released exclusively on Netflix on March 6, 2026, after a limited theatrical run in Australia. Stream in February 12, 2026. Let me tell you about the movie starring Alan Ritchson as Richard and as Red, Staff Sergeant 81. It's about a grieving combat veteran and Army Ranger candidate being hunted by his brothers in the field in Afghanistan during a brutal final phase of the U.S. Army Ranger selection. There's also a grueling survival exercise in the wilderness, where he literally stumbles upon a crazy, wild, handcrafted, powerful, unstoppable killing machine, a trolling robotic beast. Let me tell you about this movie, Lethern Energy Weapons. It starts with a training mission that turns into a desperate fight for survival against an alien predator. The weapons are impressive and well controlled. The story focuses on 81, the leader of a fractured team, dealing with trauma and the struggle between life and death. There's a strong military vibe with some horror elements. The movie feels similar to Predator and Terminator. It delivers intense practical action with a dynamic squad and powerful physical battles. This movie, in a strength forward, is specifically fueled for action and has a runtime of 107 minutes. That's 1 hour and 47 minutes. It's rated R for strong blood violence and intense action sequences. The language is also coarse. The movie was produced by AGC Studios along with the Solution Entertainment Group and others, and it's heading to global streaming on Netflix as of March 9th, 2026, just 3 days away. The post-release War Machine has surged to become the trending #1 on Netflix USA charts, dominating streaming views thanks to the star power of Richard. The viral trailer has over 7 million views pre-release and is gaining word of mouth for its no-nonsense action and practical effects. Critics are calling it a thumbs up, a fun throwback to the clean action movies of the 80s and 90s, perfect for fans craving a middle-of-the-road thriller while waiting for Richard's next project. So this is a quick movie introduction. Friends, I just gave you an intro to the War Machine movie. I've already given you the basic info about this movie. Now we're going to talk about the 20 main points of the movie, where we'll cover everything in clear detail. I'm going to explain everything fully. The movie War Machine was released on March 6, 2026. So let's dive into these 20 points and see what it's all about. The first point is going to be full details and some interesting facts about the movie War Machine. So, friends, let's get started. All right, let me tell you. The first heading is all about the War Machine movie, with full details and some interesting facts. The War Machine movie runs for about 107 minutes and was mainly shot on location in Kurdistan and the Australian wilderness, doubling for USA training grounds. Let me tell you, it features practical sets, realistic portrait techniques, and minimal CGI, with Alan Ritchson designing the destruction scenes. Also, the robot nicknamed War Machine had practical components, including nominated clothes and full-scale models for wild shots, bringing a classic vibe. Creature feature, and let me tell you some interesting facts about this movie. First, don't get it confused with the 2017 Netflix movie, War Machine. This one is a fully scripted action thriller. It's packed with cool moments and memes. Also, let me tell you, Alan Ritchson does most of his own stunts, including intense close-quarters hand-to-hand combat with the machine and a crazy pool scene where he's walking underwater, carrying white weights, and landing for real. He really pushed himself physically for this role. Commitment, and let me tell you about the alien ribs design, drugs, the War of the Worlds trees, with Terminator and Scotland's, but with a modern tomb bird on legs. Twist practical effects, Team Bull, a 24 Forts animatic head, hand for key scenes. And let me tell you about the Dynex Squad and Easy Model. It's play, Grizz Ranger structure, with appearances mostly in setup quits, character push, rescue at the breaking point, adding tension. And let me tell you the next interesting fact. The trailer focuses on the iconic line, "Put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply." Not to be RoboCop speaking fun, discussing, and let me tell you, the next interesting fact is War Machine movie. Let me tell you, Rich described it as Netflix's biggest, most epic action and interview. It was one of the platform's most pre-releases trailers. Next, let me tell you the story. Honors real Rangers training, hardship Hell Week-inspired elements will add safety, scaling, reason, characters. 81 is assigned with the numbers only during selection for anonymity. And let me tell you, filming was in Australia with local creatives. The entire crew from the Expendables series is back for action coordination. And let me tell you, the next features are pretty cool. An interesting fact is the ending with the great sacrificial twist and the heroic payoff. Fans got to see the debut of 81 comebacks from the real War Machine metabolically. Also, here's another cool thing about the War Machine movie. It's a practical exploration with gunfire sequences, shot on live grounds, no heavy green screen stuff, just real sets and safety measures. And one more interesting fact is the rich, bulked-up futuristic look by Richardson. Season 2 of The Old Calling is the most dynamic physical performance yet. Let me tell you, the film includes subtle grift and PTSD themes from the 81 backstory, but keeps the action front and center. Here's another interesting fact. There are viral BTS clips showing intense military training, adding to the authenticity. Also, it's basically a War Machine movie. Netflix is positioning it as a high-end, stylish action flick, making it a top character-driven film across multiple countries, with 24 hours of war. Machine movie, let me tell you. So friends, I just told you about the first heading of this movie, where we talked about all the full details and interesting facts about the War Machine movie. I've shared all the interesting facts about this movie with you. Now, we're going to talk about the second heading. The second heading is going to be War Machine movie OTT satellite details and War Machine movie budget and worldwide box office collection updates. So, let's get started with this too. Let me tell you the second heading is War Machine movie OTT and satellite details, War Machine movie budget and worldwide box office collection updates. Let me tell you, this movie is going straight to streaming globally and will have a limited theatrical release in Australia. Let me tell you about this movie's OTT and streaming details. Exclusive on Netflix from March 6, 2026 in all regions. This movie is available in 4K Ultra HD, HDR10, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos. Also, it's downloadable for offline viewing with no pay-per-view or rental. Just outstanding quality. Outside Netflix, permanent library titles are expected. Let me tell you, satellite updates. This movie's satellite and cable rights are with Netflix, plus potential edited versions and podcasts on premium channels like Star, Stars, MGM Plus, and linear TV by late 2026 and 2027. Also, let me tell you about international satellite details with Netflix partners. As for the movie budget update, the War Machine movie in 2026 has an estimated budget of $628 million. And let me tell you, it's a mid-range Netflix project with practical effects and location shoots. Drop cost, but no official figures released yet. Let me tell you about this movie's worldwide box office update. The War Machine movie's worldwide box office update is limited, mainly from the US and Australia. It's releasing on February 12, 2026, and the earnings are modest, not blockbuster level, No worldwide big success. It's mostly being watched on Netflix, trending at #1 in the US and in the top charts globally, despite tough competition and lots of social buzz. So, friends, that was the second part where I shared the update on this movie. The OTT details for the War Machine movie have been shared along with the satellite info. I've also talked about the movie's budget. Plus, we've discussed the worldwide box office collection of the film. Now let's move on to the third heading, which is all about the pre-production and post-production updates for War Machine. So let's get started with that. Let me tell you about the pre-production. The third heading is the pre-production and post-production. Production for the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, the focus is on military authenticity. Patrick Haggis developed the script based on his story with James Booth, working on building real Rangers veterans and casting veterans attached early on. Let me tell you about the post-production buzz and the core moral focus on authenticity figures. This assembly is planned for 2024-2025. Also, let me tell you, the movie's war scenes are being shot in Australia for a worldwide release. Let me give you the latest post-production update for War Machine movie. Let me tell you about the post-production, the VFX integration, robot enhancements, sound design for weapons, impacts, explosions, and the editing for Relentless Pay and Score. Blind's military prison with electronic dead zones and minimal race polish, all set for a Netflix drop on March 6, 2026. So guys, that was the second and third part where I told you about the pre-production and post-production of this War Machine movie. Now let's talk about the fourth part. And the fourth, here's the filming update for the War Machine movie. Let's get started. The fourth update is about the filming details of War Machine. The main shooting is happening in rural forest areas of Australia, doubling for the USA wilderness. They're filming sequences set in 2025 and 2026, including brutal boot camp scenes. The movie features cool endurance rock machines, wilderness survival, and route confessions with practical throw techniques and stunt choreography. The action scenes are led by many stunt professionals on location, working in cold environments. I'll tell you, the conditions added realism and the actors introduced lights, and the movie director pushed for practical shots to spark imagination. So friends, that was the update on the film details of this movie that I just shared with you. Now let's talk about the fifth heading of this movie, which is going to be our deep story analysis of the War Machine movie. So let's get started with that too. Let me tell you, the fifth heading is deep story analysis of War Machine movie. Let me tell you, War Machine movie is R-rated, 81 minutes long, and 100% by his brother's Field. Release date and choice of joysticks range from the horror, him, and final exercise lead squad on a max interval mission. Crash-landed alien machine. Alien machine is like a tank with energy blasts and impulses. Air-to-air combat evolves from lone watches. The leader uses gravity traps to score points, survive, and protect the seamen. This movie's theme is graphic animation, action, brotherhood under fire, human realism versus unstoppable tech. Let me tell you, Symbol Machine is the meta-form of war, a devastating force. Number 81 represents loss, identity, endings, heroes, sacrifice, payoff, and a better twist. Victoria created a quiz, not just a general plot, but something exclusive in Ritchson Trishima. So friends, that was a deep story analysis of this movie. I've just given you the analysis of the War Machine movie. Now let's talk about the sixth heading. And the sixth heading is going to be about something I'm about to tell you. Our sixth heading will be an explanation with a technical review of the 2026 War Machine movie. So let's get started with that. Let me tell you. Sixth, here's a breakdown and technical review of the 2026 War Machine movie. Let me tell you, the War Machine movie 2026, a Netflix original, really stands out with its practical action in the streaming space. The on-location shoots and real explosions, combined with robotic elements and cinematography, give it a gritty feel. And let me tell you, the sound design is beastly, and the machinery looks impressive in the edit. It runs for about 107 minutes, with top-notch VFX and practically full CGI seamlessly blended in. The solid technical effects are impressive for a mid-budget film, making it a clean, fun watch with some standout moments. So, friends, that was the review of this movie that I just shared with you. The War Machine movie review was pretty much like what I told you. Now, let's move on to the seventh heading, which is going to be about updates on the cast and crew of War Machine. So let's get started with that. The seventh heading is Cast and Crew Updates of War Machine Movie. Let me tell you the cast updates. Alan Ritchson plays Recruit Staff Sergeant 81, and Donish Squad plays Ranger. Stroker's the commander, and let me tell you, Stephen James plays a squad member. Also, J.E. Country is a risk. And let me tell you, E. Motherlands is the head instructor. Other actors include Black Richardson, Kelly Longside, Daniel Vibark, Alex King, and Jack Payton. As for updates on the cast and crew, let me tell you, the director of the War Machine movie is Parthik Huggs. Parthik Huggs is also the writer and co-producer of the War Machine movie. And let me tell you all about this movie. The co-writers are James Butterford, and let me tell you, the producer is War Machine Movies, various AGC Solution Entertainment. And let me tell you, the distributor is Netflix globally, Red Show Films in Australia, and Tickley Release. So friends, this was the update on the cast and crew of this movie that I just gave you. Now we're going to talk about the next heading, which is the release date update of War Machine movie, basically when the War Machine movie was released. So let's get started. Let's get this started. Let me tell you, the heading is the release date of the War Machine movie. The War Machine movie is releasing globally on Netflix on March 6th, 2026. And let me tell you, the War Machine movie is releasing theatrically in Australia on February 12th, 2026. Now here's the deal. So, friends, that was the heading I just told you about, where I mentioned that the War Machine movie will be available worldwide on Netflix from March 6th, 2026. And before that, starting February 12th, the movie will also be in theaters across the US and Australia. It was released. And now this movie is available on Netflix starting March 6th, 2026. Now let's talk about its ninth heading. Our ninth heading is about the delay of the War Machine movie. Yes, the War Machine movie was delayed. So that's what our ninth heading is about. Let's get started with it. Let me tell you about the delay for the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, no major delay was reported. It smoothly started streaming on Netflix from March 6. So, friends, I've just informed you about that. This movie wasn't delayed. It was released directly on Netflix from March 6. Now let's talk about the sixth heading of this movie, which is the budget of War Machine. So, what was the budget of War Machine? Let's find out. Let me tell you, the budget of War Machine is estimated at $62 to $80 million. So, guys, I just told you that the budget for this movie was around $60 to $80 million, and I mentioned $60 million as well. The movie had a budget of around $80 million. Now, let's talk about the 11th heading of this movie. The 11th heading is going to be the box office collection of War Machine. So, we're going to find out whether War Machine made any money at the box office or not. Let me tell you, the 11th heading is the box office collection of War Machine. Let me also tell you, War Machine had a limited theatrical release, and this movie has been streaming successfully, dominating Netflix and trending #1 in the USA. So guys, for now, you can watch this movie on Netflix. It's trending at #1, and this movie is #1 trending on Netflix in the USA. Now, let's talk about the 12th heading of this movie. Let me tell you about the pro-production of the War Machine movie. We're going to talk about the production of War Machine. Let me tell you, the 12th heading is the production of War Machine. War Machine is a Netflix original with Australian filming and a mix of practical action and military conclusion. Now let's move on to the 15th heading. The 15th heading is coming up next. New update on the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, as of March 9th, 2026, War Machine is trending #1 on Netflix USA charts worldwide. It's got strong reviews, or with a 68% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, fresh reviews, viral stunt clips, and more. So, friends, this was the 15th update about the movie, sharing what's new. I've told you that right now this movie is trending #1 on Netflix in the USA, and people are really liking it. If you want to watch this movie too, then you can check it out. You can quickly go and watch it on Netflix, where this movie is trending #1 in the USA. Now let's talk about the 16th heading of this movie. The 16th heading is going to be Behind the Scenes of War Machine movie. So let's get started with that. Let me tell you, the 16th heading is Behind the Scenes of War Machine movie. Let me tell you, Ritchson Edward is the real deal, handling the practical training, robots, bulls, hugs, control, and intense stunts. So friends, that was all about the behind the scenes of this movie. Now, moving on, let's talk about the 17th heading, which is going to be Facts about the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, Section 1 additional topics. Netflix post-release sales were epic. Now, moving on to the 18th heading, which is ratings for the War Machine movie. So, let me tell you, the War Machine movie has an IMDb rating of 6.5 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes scores it around 65 to 68%, with critics giving it fresh ratings. Also, Netflix lists it as a rated movie. 18th heading, 19th heading. So guys, I just told you about the movie's rating. Like I said, it has a 6.5 rating on IMDb out of 10. Also, I mentioned that 68% of critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave it fresh reviews. This movie is rated on Netflix as well. Now, let's move on to the 19th heading, which is the reaction to the War Machine movie. So, let's check that out. Let me tell you, the 19th heading is the reaction to War Machine movie. The positive response from action-packed critics has been solid, with fans loving the basic but fun twists. So, friends, this was the reaction to the movie, which people are really enjoying watching. It's getting a lot of positive reviews. The reactions have been great, and people are really liking it after watching. Now, let's move on to the last part of this movie, heading 20, about the heading. And the 20th heading is Shooting and You Should Be Added to War Machine movie. So let's find out about it. Let me tell you, the 20th heading is shooting and you should be added to War Machine Movie. Let me tell you, War Machine Movie practically has amazing location stunts, perfect action sequences, rich fight scenes, thrilling survival drama, and it's great for action lovers. It covers breakdowns, highlights, intense moments, and practical effects. So, friends, that was the 20th heading of this movie that I just told you about. So guys, I just gave you a complete rundown of the movie War Machine, which was released on March 6, 2026. I covered everything in detail, and I'm sure you understood it all and enjoyed the video a lot. In this video, I gave a full breakdown and explanation of the movie, along with my opinion. I also shared 20 different topics about the film, explaining everything clearly from all angles. Alright, now let me tell you about the full 20 topics of this movie. First off, I gave you an introduction to the movie, covering the basic stuff. After that, I broke everything down topic-wise, just the headings, covering all 20 topics. We started with the full details of the movie War Machine, including some interesting facts about it, where I explained everything in detail. I've explained everything in full detail. Then under the second heading, I told you about the OTT and satellite details of the War Machine movie, along with its budget and the worldwide box office collection, which I mentioned in the second heading. After that, under the third heading, I talked about the pre-production of the War Machine movie, covering both pre-production and post-production details. Finally, I also shared information under the fourth heading. I've shared the filming details of the War Machine movie. In the fourth section, I talked about the filming specifics. Then in the fifth section, I gave you a deep story analysis of War Machine. After that, in the sixth section, I explained the movie with a technical review based on 2026 standards. Following that, in the seventh section, I told you about the cast and crew members. And then in the eighth section, I covered war. The release date of the movie Machine has been announced as March 6th, 2026. Then, in the ninth heading, we talked about the delay updates for the War Machine movie, whether it was postponed or released directly on March 6th. After that, in the 10th heading, we covered the budget of the War Machine movie. Following that, in the 11th heading, we discussed the box office collections of War Machine. Lastly, we talked about the pre-production of the War Machine movie in the 12th heading. The heading mentions it. And then in the 15th heading, I told you about the latest updates on the War Machine movie. That is, what new info has just come out about the War Machine movie. After that, in the 16th heading, I shared some behind-the-scenes details of the War Machine movie. Then in the 17th heading, I talked about some facts related to the War Machine movie. Finally, in the 18th heading, I explained the movie's ratings and more. After heading 19, I told you about the reactions to the War Machine movie, and then in the last heading, number 20, I shared updates about the shooting of War Machine. Friends, I covered a total of 20 headings where I clearly explained everything in detail, gave a solid introduction to the movie, broke it down, and explained it well. I'm sure you really liked this video. If you want to watch this movie right now, then you can directly watch it on Netflix. This movie has been released on Netflix, and it's currently trending at #1 there. So, friends, you can go and watch this movie on Netflix. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to share it with your friends, go ahead and share this video because it's a really great movie that I told you about. You should definitely watch this movie at least once. Meanwhile, go check it out on Netflix, and I'll watch it again there too. So, until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. If you have any doubts or didn't understand something in this video, feel free to ask me in the comments below. Until then, take care. Bye-bye, and look after yourself. Point adding tension. And let me tell you the next interesting fact. The trailer features the iconic line, "Put down your weapon, you have 20 seconds to comply." Not to be robotic about it, but speaking fun, discussing it. Let me tell you the next interesting fact. War Machine movie, described by Rich as Netflix's biggest, fiercest action epic. And in an interview, it was one of the platform's most pre-release trailers. Next, let me tell you the story. Horses, real Rangers training, tough hardship, Hell Week-inspired elements all adding to the intensity. The Skeleton Reason character's 81 is assigned with the numbers only during selection for anonymity. Let me tell you, filming was in Australia with local creatives and some crew from the Expendables series returning for action coordination. Now, an interesting fact about the next feature is the great sacrificial twist and the heroic payoff for fans. 81 makes a comeback as the real war machine, metaphorically speaking. And let me tell you, another interesting fact about the War Machine movie is the practical exploration with the gunfire sequence shot. With live sets and blackout scenes, there's no heavy green screen stuff. Realism is key. Let me tell you the next cool fact. Ritchson did some futuristic posts. Richardson's Season 2 role is called the most dynamic physical performance yet. And let me tell you, the film includes subtle gift PTSD themes from 81 backstory, but keeps the action front and center. Here's another interesting fact. There are viral BTS clips showing Rich training with the military, adding to the authenticity. Let me tell you the next cool thing. The fact is, War Machine movie, let me tell you, Netflix posted it as the richer style action flick, topping charts in multiple countries in 2024. So friends, I just told you about the first part, where we discussed all the full details and interesting facts about the War Machine movie. I've shared all those cool facts with you. Now, we're going to talk about the second part of this movie, and our second heading is going to be War Machine movie OTT and satellite details, along with War Machine movie budget and worldwide box office collection updates. So, let's get started with this. Let me tell you, the second heading is War Machine movie OTT and satellite details, War Machine movie budget, and worldwide box office collection updates. This movie is going straight to streaming globally, with a limited theatrical release expected only in Australia. Let me tell you about the OTT and streaming details. It will be exclusively on Netflix from March 6th, 2026, available everywhere. It's available in 4K Ultra HD, HD, and HDR with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. And let me tell you, you can download it for offline viewing, no POVD rental needed. It's an outstanding permanent title outside of Netflix's library. Let me tell you about the satellite updates. This movie is on satellite cable rides with Netflix, and might have edited versions for premium channels like Star, MGM+, and linear TV by late 2026 or 2027. Also, there are international satellite details with Netflix partners. And let me tell you about this movie's budget. Update. Let me tell you about the War Machine movie 2026 budget update. It's estimated between 60 to 80 million. Mid-range Netflix original with practical effects and location shoots to cut costs. but no official figures released. Now about the worldwide box office collection update for War Machine movie. It's limited, mostly in the US and Australia. It's releasing on February 12, 2026, and the earnings are modest returns, not blockbuster level. Worldwide, it's not a huge success, but made popular by Netflix viewership, trending #1 in the USA and top of the charts. The movie had a strong global release, with high competition rates and a lot of social buzz. So, friends, that was the second heading where I told you all about the OTT release of this movie, War Machine, along with the satellite details. I also shared info about the movie's budget. Plus, we talked about its worldwide box office collection. Now we're moving on to the third heading, which will cover the pre-production and post-production updates for War Machine. All right, let's get this started. Let me tell you about pre-production. The third heading is pre-production and post-production for the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, pre-production focused on military authenticity. Patrick Huggs developed the script based on his story with James Buft, building real Rangers veterans and casting Ritchson early on. And let me tell you about post-production buzz. Also, let me tell you about quad modelers for the authentic figures. This is a big project planned for 2024-2025. And let me tell you, this movie is a war scene movie. Location scouting in Australia for World Wilderness release. Let me give you a post-production update for the War Machine movie. Post-production is going great. Practically flawless VFX integration, robot enhancements, and sound design for weapon impacts, explosions, plus tight editing for relentless space scenes. The score blends military prison vibes with electronic deadness and minimal reverb. Polishing is on track for a March 6, 2026 Netflix drop. So friends, that was the second and third update on this War Machine movie. I've explained about pre-production and post-production. Now let's talk about the fourth heading of this movie. The fourth heading is going to be filming details update for War Machine movie. So let's get started with that. Let me tell you, the fourth heading is filming details War Machine movie. Let me tell you, the principal photography will primarily take place in Australia, in rural forest areas. Some scenes will be shot in the USA as well during 2025 and 2026. There will be sequences involving brutal boats, camps, and some intense indoor machine scenes, wilderness survival, and roots confession, with practical throw techniques and assistance coordination. Let me tell you, the production was led by many action leads on location and cold weather. Let me tell you, the conditions added realism and actors introduced lights. The movie director pushed for practical shots for the visuals. So friends, that was the update on the filming details of this movie that I just shared with you. Now let's talk about the fifth heading of this movie, which is going to be the deep story analysis of the War Machine movie. So let's get into that too. Let's get started. Let me tell you. The fifth heading is a deep story analysis of the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, War Machine is a 1981 release by Richard and 100 by his brothers, featuring field realism. It follows the story of a ranger selected for a horror-themed final exercise, leading a squad on a max interval mission and crash landing an alien machine. The alien machine is like a tank with energy blasts and impulses. More than 81 evolves from Lone Watch. The leader uses ingenuity traps to earn points, survive, and protect the team. The movie's theme is gritty and intense throughout. Action Brotherhood is under fire. Human realism versus unstoppable tech. Let me tell you, symbolism in the movie War Machine represents the meta theme of war. The number 81 stands for loss of identity, the sacrifice of heroes, and the cost of battle. There's a plot twist with Victoria creating a quiz which isn't generated randomly but is exclusively passed within the Ritchson Trishima context. So, friends, that was the deep story analysis of this movie. I've just given you the analysis of War Machine. Now, let's talk about the sixth heading. The sixth heading is going to be about, and I'll explain it to you. All right, our sixth section is going to be an explanation with a technical review of the 2026 War Machine movie. So, let's get started with that. Let me tell you, the sixth section is an explanation with a technical review of the 2026 War Machine movie. Let me tell you, War Machine 2026 is a Netflix original that really stands out for its practical action in the streaming space, with on-location shoots and real explosions. The robotic elements and cinematography capture the gritty feel perfectly. And let me tell you, the sound design is top-notch and the mechanical effects are impressive. The editing keeps it tight, running just over 107 minutes. Pro programming and reboot, VFX blinks practically full, CGI simile, and let me tell you, solid technical effects for mid-budget, clean fun, especially, and throw similar. So, friends, that was the review of this movie that I have told you. The War Machine movie review was something like what I just shared with you. Now, let's talk about the seventh heading of this movie, which is going to be about updates on the cast and crew members of War Machine. So, let's get started with that too. The seventh heading is Cast and Crew Updates of War Machine Movie. Let me tell you about the cast update. Alan Ritchson plays Recruit Staff Sergeant 81. Danish squad is led by Ranger Stroke Commander. Stephen James is a squad member. J.E. Country plays Risk. Asha Motherlands is the head instructor. Other actors include Black Richardson, Kelly Longside, Daniel Wybark, Alex King, and Jack Belton. That's the latest update on the crew members for the movie. Let me tell you, war! The director of the movie Machine is Parthik Huggs, and the writer of the War movie is also Parthik Huggs. Parthik Huggs is one of the producers of the War movie. Let me tell you, the movie writers are James Butterford, and the producer of the War movie is variously AGGC Solution Entertainment. The distributors are Netflix globally, Red Show Films in Australia, and Titically Release. So, friends, that was the update on the cast and crew of this movie that I just gave you. Now, let's move on to the next heading. All right, this heading is about the release date of the War Machine movie. So, what was the release date of the War Machine movie? We're about to find out. Let's get started. Let me tell you, the release date of the War Machine movie is on Netflix globally on March 6th, 2026. And in Australia, the movie was actually released earlier, on February 12th, 2026. That's the info. So, friends, that was the main point about this movie's release date that I just shared with you. Just to let you know, the movie War Machine was globally released on Netflix on March 6, 2026. Before that, it was released in theaters in the USA and Australia starting February 12. Now, from March 6, 2026, the movie is available on Netflix. Now, let's talk about the ninth heading. Our ninth heading is about the delay of War Machine movie, meaning the movie was delayed. So let's get started with that. Let me tell you about the delay. War Machine movie. Let me tell you, there was no major delay reported for War Machine movie. It smoothly streamed on Netflix from March 6th. So, friends, I just told you this movie wasn't delayed. It was released directly on Netflix on March 6th. Now, let's talk about the sixth heading of this movie. And the sixth heading is going to be the budget of War Machine movie. In other words, what was the budget of War Machine movie? So, let's find that out too. Let me tell you. The budget of War Machine movie, let me tell you. This movie's budget is $6,280 million estimated. So, guys, I just told you that the budget for this movie was around $60 to $80 million. And now, let's talk about the 11th heading, which is the box office collection of the War Machine movie. In other words, we're going to find out whether War Machine made any money at the box office or not. Let me tell you, the 11th heading is the box office collection of War Machine. Machine movie, let me tell you. War Machine movie was released theatrically and it's been streaming successfully, dominating Netflix trending at #1 in the USA. So, friends, this movie is currently trending #1 on Netflix, and it's at the top in the USA. Now let's talk about the 12th heading of this movie. Let me tell you about the pro-production of War Machine movie. We are going to talk about the production of War Machine movie. Let me tell you, the 12th heading is the production of War Machine movie. Let me tell you, War Machine is a Netflix original with Australian filming and a focus on practical action military conclusion. Now, let's talk about the 15th heading, which is the new update on War Machine. As of March 9th, 2026, War Machine is trending #1 on Netflix charts, from the US to globally. It's got strong reviews, a 68% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, fresh reviews, viral stunt clips. So, friends, that was the 15th heading about this movie, covering what's new. Here's an update for you. Just wanted to let you know that this movie is currently trending at #1 on Netflix in the USA, and people are really loving it. If you want to watch it too, you can quickly head over to Netflix and catch it there since it's the top trending movie in the US right now. Now, let's talk about the 16 headings related to this movie. The 16th heading is going to be about the behind the scenes of the War Machine movie. So let's get started with that. Let's go. Let me tell you, the 16th heading is about the behind the scenes of the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, Edward is the real deal, training with practical robots and intense stunts involving bulls and hugs. So, friends, that was the statement about this movie. Now, let's talk about the 17th heading, which is going to be the facts about the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, Section 1 covers additional topics like Netflix post-release sales. It's epic. Now, moving on to the 18th heading, which is going to be the rating for the War Machine movie. So, let me tell you, the movie War Machine has an IMDb rating of 6.5 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has about a 68% fresh rating from critics. It's a Netflix movie too. So, guys, I've just given you the ratings. 6.5 on IMDb and around 68% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. And yeah, it's available on Netflix. All right. So now let's talk about the 19th thread, which is all about the reaction to the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, the 19th thread is the reaction to War Machine. The action is solid. Critics called it a throwback. Basic, but fun. Fans really loved it, especially the special effects, and it's been a hit on streaming platforms. So, guys, that was the reaction to this movie. People are really loving it, and the reviews are mostly positive. It's a really good one. We got to see the reactions to Ritchson. People are really liking the movie after watching it. Now, let's talk about the last heading of the movie, which is the 20th heading. The 20th heading is about shooting, and you should be aware of the War Machine movie. So, let me tell you about it. The 20th heading is shooting, and you should be aware of the War Machine movie. War Machine movie is basically about location stunts, added effects, perfect rich friends, and alien ribs. Thrilling survival, gripping drama, and perfect for action lovers. Great for YouTube breakdowns and highlights, emotional and intense with practical effects. So, friends, those were the 20 key points about this movie that I just shared with you. I've just explained everything in detail about the movie War Machine, which is set to release on March 6, 2026, and I'm sure you now have a clear understanding of it. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about the War Machine movie coming out in 2026. We got to see Alan Ritchson, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a full explanation about the War Machine movie. Along the way, I'll also be reviewing the War Machine movie. I'll share my opinion about the movie too. Plus, I'm going to talk about the 20 main topics from War Machine in the movie. These 20 topics will be organized by headings, starting with an introduction to the War Machine movie and the first movie intro, followed by the 20 topics. Here are the details. First heading is full details and interesting facts about the War Machine movie and its setting. Second heading is OTT and satellite details update for War Machine movie. Third heading is budget and worldwide box office collection update for War Machine movie. Fourth heading covers pre-production and post-production of the War Machine movie. Fifth heading is filming details update for War Machine movie. Sixth heading is a deep story analysis of War Machine movie. And finally, the seventh heading is an explanation with a technical review of 2026-36 for War Machine movie. And eighth heading is War Machine movie cast and crew updates. Ninth heading is release date of War Machine movie. 10th heading is War Machine movie delay updates. 11th heading is War Machine movie budget updates. 12th heading is box office collection of War Machine movie. 13th heading is production of War Machine movie. 15th heading is new updates of War Machine movie. 16th heading is behind the scenes of Alan Rich Merchant's upcoming movie, War Machine. 17th heading is War Machine movie facts updates. 18th heading is rating of War Machine movie. And 19th heading, this is a reaction to the War Machine movie, and there are 20 topics being covered that should be included along with this for the War Machine movie. So, we're going to talk about all 20 topics, and I'm going to explain everything about each one in full detail. So, stick around and watch this video till the end. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also share it with your friends. Now, let's get started without wasting any time. First, let me give you a quick introduction to the movie. War Machine, coming out in 2026, is a high-action, adrenaline-packed sci-fi action film. This is a thriller movie written and directed by Parthik Huggs. It's also produced by Parthik Huggs. The film, called The Hitman's Bodyguard: The Expendable, was exclusively released on Netflix on March 6, 2026, after a limited theatrical run in Australia starting February 12, 2026. The movie stars Alan Ritchson as Richard, a rescued Staff Sergeant 81. It's got this intense, gritty combat energy. An Army Ranger candidate is hunted by his brothers in a field in Afghanistan during a rescue mission, right in the middle of the brutal final phase of the U.S. Army Ranger selection. Let me tell you, it's like a grueling survival exercise in the wilderness. He literally ends up squaring off against a crushed, battle-hardened adversary, kind of like a massive, unstoppable killing machine. Imagine a troll mixed with a robotic soldier armed with high-tech energy weapons. And let me tell you, this whole thing starts as a training mission, but quickly turns into a desperate fight for survival against extreme odds. Predator impresses with its controller weapons. Let me tell you, focusing on 81 to lead fracture teams, and Comfort confirmed this trauma and the intense life-or-death scenario with bleeding military releases, combined with clean, brutal elements. It stays true to the Predator Aliens and the Terminator. This movie delivers intense practical action with a dynamic squad and rich physical power in tough, forward tests. It's specifically fueled for this. The runtime is 107 minutes. Let me tell you, 1 hour and 47 minutes. This movie is for us. Rated, and let me tell you, it's got strong blood violence and intense action sequences. This movie's language is a bit rough, and it's produced by GC Studios. The Solution Entertainment Group and others are involved too. It's heading to Netflix for global streaming. As of March 9th, 2026, just 3 days after its release, War Machine is trending #1 on Netflix USA charts, dominating streaming views, all thanks to the star power of Richard Viral. Let me tell you, the trailer already has over 7 million views even before the release. People are saying it's a no-nonsense action flick with practical effects. Critics are calling it a thumbs-up, fun throwback to the clean action movies of the 80s and 90s. Perfect for fans craving a mid-level thriller while waiting for RRR. So, this is a movie introduction. All right, friends, I've just given you an intro to the War Vason movie, covering all the basic stuff. Now, we're going to talk about the 20 main points of the movie, where we'll cover everything. We're about to dive into some really clear and detailed info. I'm going to give you the full scoop on the movie War Machine, which was released on March 6, 2026. So let's also check out 20 key points about it and see what it's all about. The first heading is War Machine Movie Full Details and Interesting Facts. So friends, let's get started with that. Let me tell you, the first heading is War Machine Movie Full Details and Interesting Facts. Let me tell you, War Machine runs for 107 minutes and is relatively short. On location, it's rough and tough with Australian welders and doubling for the USA trading grounds. Let me tell you, they use practical sets, real puppet techniques, and minimal CGI for the alien designs and the destruction scenes. Also, there's this robot nicknamed the War Machine, featuring practical costumes and full-scale models for wild shots, bringing in classic creature effects. And here's an interesting fact about the movie. Don't get it confused with the 2017 Brad Pitt Netflix film, War Machine. This is a full-on, action-packed cleaning movie, exclusively breaking down the stunts and scenes. Let me tell you, Alan Rich does most, if not all, of his own stunts, including intense, close-up hand-to-hand fights with the machine, plus a tricky pool sequence where he's walking underwater carrying weights and then lands for real. He really pushes himself physically and commits fully. And let me tell you, Alan's ribs are like battle scars from War of the Worlds and Terminator Reports, but with a modern twist, like a mechanical bird on legs, super practical. The effects team is led by the head of A24 Forts Animatics for key scenes. Let me tell you, the dynamic squad and easy model play a big role in the Grizzly Ranger structure. We mostly appear in setup sequences, like character pushes, rescues, and breaking points to add tension. Here's another cool fact. The trailer features the iconic line, "Put down your weapon, you have 20 seconds to comply." Not to be a robot, just speaking fun facts here. And another interesting thing, the War Machine movie, as described by Ritchson, Netflix's biggest action-packed epic and interview with was one of the platform's most anticipated pre-release trailers. Next, let me tell you the story. Honors, real Rangers, tough training, hardship week, hell week, and inspiring elements all adding to the scale of the action. The characters are numbered 81, assigned only during the selection for anonymity. Filming took place in Australia with local creatives and some crew from the Expendables series returning for action coordination. And let me tell you, the next features are really interesting, especially the ending with the crate, sacrifice, twist, and heroic payoff for the fan debut of 81. It brings back the real War Machine metaphorically. And let me tell you, next up is an interesting fact about the War Machine movie. Let me explain the practical effects with the gunfire sequence. Shot with live rounds and blanks for safety, no heavy green screen or CGI involved. Next interesting fact, Ritchson bulked up for the futuristic Ritchson role in Season 2, delivering the most dynamic physical performance yet. And let me tell you, the film includes subtle grift. PTSD themes come from 81 backstories, but keep the action front and center. And let me tell you the next interesting fact. Viral BTS clips show the intense training with the military, giving it authenticity. Another cool fact is about the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, Netflix posted it as a richer style action flick, topping charts in multiple countries with 24 hours of War Machine movie content. So friends, I've just told you about the first heading of this movie, which we discussed. Here's the full scoop on the War Machine movie and some cool facts about it. I've already shared all the interesting details with you. Now let's move on to the second part, which covers the War Machine movie's OTT and satellite details, along with its budget and worldwide box office collection updates. So let's get started. Let me tell you, the second part is all about the War Machine movie's OTT and satellite info, plus the budget and global box office numbers. Update. Let me tell you, this movie will be available for direct streaming worldwide and will have a limited theatrical release in Australia. It will be exclusively on Netflix starting March 6, 2026. The movie is available in 4K Ultra HD, HDR10, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos. You can download it for offline viewing with no POVD rental. It'll be permanently available in Netflix's library. Also, there's an update about the movie's satellite release. Cable rides with Netflix and potential edited podcast on premium channels like Star Stars, MGM Plus, and linear TV by late 2026 and 2027. Let me tell you about the international satellite details with Netflix partners. Also, here's the latest on the movie budget update. The War Machine movie for 2026 is estimated at $628 million. It's a mid-range Netflix production with practical effects and location shoots, plus drum costs, but no official figures have been released yet. And let me tell you, here's the worldwide box office collection update. The worldwide box office update for the movie War Machine is pretty limited, mainly from the US and Australia. It released on February 12, 2026, and earned modest returns. Not a blockbuster by any means. Worldwide, it wasn't really a big hit, but gained some traction through Netflix viewership. It's trending at #1 in the USA and is in the top charts globally, despite tough competition and a lot of social buzz. So, friends, that was the second part where I told you all about the OTT details of War Machine and also the satellite information. And along with that, I've already talked about the budget of this movie. Along with that, we discussed its worldwide box office collection. Now, we're going to talk about the third heading, which is going to be about the pre-production and post-production updates for the War Machine movie. So, let's get started with that. Let me tell you about pre-production. The third heading is pre-production and post-production for War Machine. Let me tell you, the pre-production focused on military authenticity, developed by Patrick Hughes, created by the scripted from his story with James Butterty and building real Rangers villains, and casting Ritchson early on. Let me tell you about the post-retro buzz. Also, let me tell you about quad modelers for the authentic city figures. This is an Ambly risk field for 2024-2025. This movie was shot on location in Australia for the World Wilderness release. Now, about post-production updates for the War Machine movie, let me tell you, the post-production is impressive, especially the VFX integration, robot insertion, and sound. This is for weapons impacts, exploration, and tight editing for relentless space and score blends. Military prison with electronic dead and minimal race polish for March 6th, 2026 Netflix drop. So friends, that was the second and third heading of this movie, where I told you about the pre-production and post-production of this War Machine movie. And now we're going to talk about the fourth heading of this movie. And our fourth heading is going to be filming details update for the War Machine movie. So let's get started with that too. All right, let me tell you, the fourth heading is about filming details for the War Machine movie. The principal photographer is mainly shooting in rural forest areas of Australia, doubling as the USA wilderness for sequences set in 2025 and 2026. The scenes involve brutal boat camps and dull settings. Let me tell you about the tough endurance rock machines, wilderness survival, and route confusion, combined with practical pot techniques and resistance coordination. Also, the production is led by many action leads on location, with cold vents. And the conditions add realism, with actors introduced to the lighting. And this movie director really focuses on practical effects for the visuals. So guys, that was the update on the filming details of this movie that I just shared with you. Now let's talk about the fifth section of this movie, which is going to be a deep story analysis of the War Machine movie. So let's get started with that too. Let me tell you, the fifth section is a deep story analysis of the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, the War Machine movie has received an 81 rating and 100 from his brother's field release date, and joined the Ranger selection to the Horror, Him, and Final Exercise Lead Squad on Max Interval Mission and Crash-Landed Alien Machine. Alien Machine is a one-of-a-kind tank that fires energy blasts and creates air imprints. More than 81 evolves from Lone Watch the Leader, using gravity traps to score points, survive, and protect the seamen. The movie theme is graphic animation, action-packed brotherhood under fire, human versus unstoppable tech. Let me tell you, Symbol Machine is the metaform of the war. The Amazing Force 81 represents loss of identity, heroism, sacrifice, payoff, and a battle twist. Victoria, create quiz. Not a general plot, but an exclusive insight into the relationship dynamics. So, friends, that was a deep story analysis of this movie. I've just given you the analysis of the War Machine movie. Now let's talk about the sixth heading, The sixth heading is going to be like this, which I'm about to tell you. Our sixth heading will be an explanation with a technical review of the 2026 War Machine movie. So let's get started with that too. Let me tell you, the sixth heading is an explanation with a technical review of the 2026 War Machine movie. Let me tell you, the movie You War Machine is a 2026 Netflix original that really stands out with its practical action in the streaming space. It's shot on location with real explosions, robotic elements, and cinematography that captures a gritty vibe. Let me tell you, the sound design is beastly, and the mechanical effects are super impressive. The editing keeps the movie tight at 107 minutes. It's a pro-level project and a reboot, with VFX that's almost fully CGI-like. Honestly, the technical effects are solid for a mid-budget film, clean and fun, especially for fans of this genre. So guys, that's the review I wanted to share with you about this movie. Alright, so the review of the War Machine movie was pretty much like I just told you. Now, let's talk about the seventh heading of this movie, which is going to be about updates on the War Machine movie's cast and crew. So let's get started with that. The seventh heading is Cast and Crew Updates of War Machine Movie. Let me tell you the cast updates. Alan Ritchson plays Recruit Staff Sergeant 81, Donish Squad plays Ranger Struxer Commander, and Stephen James plays a squad member. And let me tell you, Jay is the country's risk taker. And let me tell you, Isha Motherlands is the head instructor. Other actors include Black Richardson, Kelly Long, Daniel Vibark, Alex King, and Jack Payton. As for other updates on the cast, let me tell you, the director of the War Machine movie is Parthik Huggs. Parthik Huggs is also the writer and co-producer of the War Machine movie. The co-writers are James Butterford, and the producer of War Machine is also Parthik Huggs. Various AGCC Solution Entertainment, and let me tell you, the distributor is Netflix globally. The show was released in Australia. So, friends, that was the update on the cast and crew of this movie that I just gave you. Now, we're going to talk about the eighth heading. The eighth heading is about the release date update of the War Machine movie. In other words, we're going to find out what the release date of the War Machine movie was. So, let's get started. Let me tell you, the eighth heading is the release date of the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, the movie War Machine is dropping globally on Netflix on March 6, 2026. Also, it was theatrically released in Australia on February 12, 2026, and in the USA too. So, yeah, that's the scoop. War Machine hit theaters in the US and Australia on February 12th, and then it's coming to Netflix worldwide on March 6th, 2026. It's done! Now, let's talk about the ninth heading. Our ninth heading is going to be about the delay of the War Machine movie. That is, the War Machine movie was delayed. So, let's get started with that too. Let me tell you about the delay for the War Machine movie. Let me tell you, no major delay was reported for War Machine. It is set to stream on Netflix from March 6th. So, friends, I've just told you that this movie wasn't delayed. It's releasing directly on Netflix from March 6th. Alright, now let's talk about the sixth heading of this movie, which is the budget of War Machine. So, what was the budget of War Machine? Let me tell you. The estimated budget of this movie is around $62 to $80 million. So, guys, I just told you that the budget for this movie was set somewhere between $60 to $80 million. Now, moving on to the next part of this movie, about the 11th heading. The 11th heading is going to be the box office collection of the War Machine movie. So we're going to find out if the War Machine movie made any box office money or not. Let me tell you, the 11th heading is the box office collection of War Machine movie. Let me tell you, War Machine movie had a limited theatrical release, and it's been streaming on Netflix, where it's been dominating #1 trending in the USA. So guys, this movie is currently #1 trending on Netflix and is the top trending movie in the USA on Netflix. It's ongoing. Now let's talk about the 12th heading of this movie. Let me tell you about the production of the War Machine movie. We're discussing the production of War Machine. The 12th heading is the production of War Machine movie. Let me tell you, War Machine is a Netflix original with Australian filming and features practical action military sequences. Now, moving on to the 15th heading, which will be the latest update on War Machine movie. Let me tell you, as of March 9th, 2026, let me tell you about War. The movie is trending #1 on Netflix USA and globally, getting strong reviews, 68% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, fresh reviews, and viral stunt clips. Let me tell you, friends, this was the 15th update about the movie's latest news. I've already told you that this movie is currently trending #1 on Netflix in the US, and people really like it. If you want to watch this movie too, you can quickly go and watch it on Netflix where it's trending #1. You can watch it in the USA. Now let's talk about the 16th heading of this movie. The 16th heading is gonna be behind the scenes of War Machine movie. So let's get started with that. Let me tell you, the 16th heading is behind the scenes of War Machine movie. Let me tell you,